do.
After canceling his primetime show, NBC is now moving Jay Leno back to his old job. America seems to be taking this personally.
The fans are suffering, the viewers are suffering.
Conan didn't get a chance to even do anything. 7 months was not enough.
I think it's been very bad management on the part of NBC.
Some people are calling Jay selfish, while others say Conan just can't cut it. Did you think that Conan had what it took to take over The Tonight Show?
Yeah, I think he did. Yeah. He followed me successfully for 16 years and was number one, and we were number one. And it was a good team. I mean, even though that situation happened in 2004, Conan and I talked, and this was a network decision. This is what the network wanted.
Were you friends? Were you and Conan friends?
Yes, very much.
So you and Conan talked after that first announcement?
We talked many times after that. Because, you know, the odd thing about this is there's only a half a dozen people in the United States that know what this experience is. And you can really only share it with them.
So you bore no hard feelings towards him?
No,
even though
not at all. Not at all.
He was going to be taking over your spot?
No, not at all. Because I took the spot over from someone as well. I mean, he was my last guest. You know, I wished him luck, and I asked the audience to please watch, and came in.
And meant well bad?
Oh, very much so. Yeah.
Okay. So the other question is, going to the primetime show, did that sort of make up for losing The Tonight Show?
Yeah, in a way it did. There's nothing like that. I mean, you're going into uncharted territory, essentially. It's a lot more competitive. You know, when you're on late night, I know I'm against Dave every night.
Right.
And I know if he has
and
Oprah
you were
on that night.
You were beating Dave.
Yeah, I know if he has Oprah that night, I'm in trouble. But I know he's got so-and-so, I know I'm okay. So we could book against it. You know, to try and book against the CSI Evil Twin episode, that's going to be very hard.
And was it true, I'd heard this, that there were other networks who wanted you to fail and therefore weren't allowing their people...
Of course the other networks want you to fail. The unusual thing was they actually boycotted us. And they actually said that in the trades, and it was a calculated effort to
not send their people.
To keep their guests off our show. But I get that. That's fine. That's not an excuse for why the show failed. It's just another reason of a level of competition that did not exist.
So it made it more difficult to get guests.
Way more. Oh, yeah. Way more difficult.
Way more difficult.
Oh, yeah. Please welcome the Animals from the San Diego Zoo. You know, I mean, it's hard to get those stars.
Yeah. So that first night, after that, you're heralded as the future of television.
Well, that's not necessarily a good thing, but yeah.
Did you read this article?
I did read the article. Yes, surprisingly, I did read it.
Okay. Did you believe that article?
I thought it was fair. Yeah.
Okay. And then did you read this article?
Oh, yeah, that's another one. Yeah.
4 months later.
Yeah. You know, I think in show business, you try not to believe the good stuff, and you try not to believe the bad stuff. The truth always lies somewhere in the middle.
Okay. Why do you think the show failed?
Well, I think the show failed because it was basically a late-night talk show at 10 o'clock. I mean, you're competing against dramas that are $3 to $6 million an episode.
When the numbers start to drop, was your ego bruised by that? Because you're used to being number one.
No, I would say my ego was bruised. I felt bad for everybody on the show, and I felt bad for our affiliates. You know, a couple of weeks ago, I called the head of the affiliate board, and I said, listen, they're the ones that canceled us. And I said, I'm sorry I let you guys down. I mean, you guys supported us. You went along with the decision. I'm sorry our show was successful for you.
Because if it had worked, it would have saved millions of dollars.
Yeah. Actually, the odd thing is, it was making money for the network. It wasn't making money for the affiliates.
The other side of that, many people say that you're going into prime time 5 nights a week, took away thousands of jobs from other people who would have been working on dramas. I gotta admit,
that was not something I even realized until we went on the air. But they're not wrong. I have to admit, that one did catch me. We were on the air when I realized, wow, I have to admit that one I didn't know about.
Because you weren't thinking about...
No, I wouldn't think about that one at the time.
The shows that would have been on had you not been on.
Right. Hours on.
Do you think you weren't given enough time to build an audience?
No, I was given enough time. I got it. I mean, I'm a big boy. It didn't work. You know, it's a TV show that got canceled. I'm actually surprised that this got this much attention. And it made me laugh when I would open the paper, and for the last 6 months, I've been in the paper every day. Every day, I'm almost on the front page. And it just sort of makes me laugh. And I'm on there for not sexual innuendos or drunk driving. I'm on there because of a TV show. And it just sort of, I chuckle to myself a little bit about it.
Well, part of the reason I think that you're on there is because, and it's so fascinating to me, that America has taken sides, and a lot of people are not on your side.
Yeah, I understand that.
And they're not on your side because they think that you have been selfish in this. Do you see in any way how you've been selfish?
Well,
they think that you took the job away from Conan.
Well, it all comes down to numbers in show business. If you're getting the ratings, I mean, think of this. This is almost the perfect storm of bad things happening. You have 2 hit shows, Tonight Show #1, Conan #1. You move them both to another situation. And what are the odds that both would do extremely poorly? Now, if Conan numbers had been a little bit higher, it wouldn't be an issue. But in show business, there's always somebody waiting in the wings.
Because if Conan's numbers had been higher, you would have never been asked to go back to take the time slot.
I never expected this to happen. You know, people think you're behind the scenes pulling strings. There's no strings to pull. I have a show that's been canceled. So why would I have any power to go, oh, I want that? What happened was NBC came to me and they said, look, your show was down 14%. Conan's show was down 49%. We have a plan. We want to keep you both. Because I said, can I be released from my contract? And they said no.
And this is your contract on the primetime show?
On the primetime show.
When did you ask that, Jay?
I asked maybe a day after we got canceled. And I said, well, can I move on? No, you're still a valuable asset. And I said, you fired me twice. How valuable can I be? You're an asset. Oh, no, we want to keep you. I said, okay. And they said, here's our plan.
Okay, stop right there. Why didn't you then just say, all right, you fired me twice, I'm out of here, guys? Because that seems like the ultimate in disrespect to me.
No, I got fired this time because my show did not perform. Makes perfect sense to me. My show was not winning its time period. That's a perfectly valid reason to go,
you're out of here.
pack your bag.
So at the time that they told you that your show is canceled, the primetime show is canceled, did they offer you in the same breath an opportunity to go back to the Tonight Show?
No, what they said was, here's our plan. We'd like you to do a half hour at 11:35, and Conan would do an hour at 12:05. And I said, Conan keeps the Tonight Show and all the, glitter and star power that goes with it. I said, yeah. And I said, okay. I said,
so what's your show going to be
I said,
called?
that's okay for me.
What's
I said,
the 11:30 show?
It would still be the Jay Leno show, and I would do a monologue and maybe one comedy piece. And I thought, okay, I'll do a half hour at 11:30, Conan do an hour. And I remember saying to one of the executives, you think Conan will go for that? Oh, yes. Yeah, that's not a problem. We are 75% sure Conan will take this deal. I said, okay. Let's shake hands. Again, I'm not a big contract guy. Shake hands. I'll do a half hour. Conan does an hour. Let's see what happens.
Was there any part of you that thought, let me think about this, let me have a conversation with Conan, let me see if Conan wants to take the hour? Was there any part of you that thought, you know what, I've already done that, enough, let's move on?
Actually, it wasn't my place to call Conan and say, they made this offer to me, and I said, do you think Conan will go for this? And they said, we'll ask him tomorrow. I said, okay, let me know what happens. And then next thing you know, I guess Conan had his article in the paper, and that was that.
Yeah, Conan said that he thought it would be destructive to the franchise, and that if you took that
if you look at where the ratings were, it was already destructive to the franchise. Yeah.
But he said that he did not want to take the hour at 12:05.
Well, there was no discussion on it. The last discussion I had was it looks like he was going to go for it, and then he publicly said no, and by that time it had pretty much hit the fan, and everything was all over the place, and there wasn't a lot of talking going on.
But then it got ugly. We'll be right back.
Okay.
Coming up, have you talked to Conan in person? And later,
I would spend a lot of time just thinking about it, going, I think I'm a good guy. Am I not a good guy?
Where do we go? Where do we go? Where do we go from here? Where do we go? Where do we go? Oh, where do we go? Where do we go? Where do we go? Where do we go from here? Where's Jay?